In today's lesson, I'd like to cover off both chapter and 10 of volume 2 of Great Expectations. In chapter 10, Pip is in his old town. He's fantasizing all about all that Miss Havisham has in store for him. After all, she's, all but adopted him. So if we can look here at page 211, I just want to read a little bit of his fantasy because he's really getting carried away. And I don't know if you've ever done this. I think this is probably similar to when we fantasize about winning, the lottery and everything we're going to do. That, sometimes we can just get really carried away. Okay, so he says here, she had adopted Estella, she had as good as adopted me, and it could not fail to be her intention to bring us together. She reserved it for me to restore the desolate house, admit the sunshine into the dark rooms, set the clocks a-going and the cold hearths a-blazing, tear down the cobwebs, destroy the vermin, in short, do all the shining deeds of the young knight of romance and marry the princess. Okay. He thinks he's the hero of Estella's story, that he's the knight in shining armor, that he's going to come in and rescue and change everything. Well, when he gets to Miss Havisham's, what does he discover but that Orluk, remember that horrible assistant of Joe's? Well, he's living with Miss Havisham and working as her porter and guard kind of thing. Pip gets reacquainted with Estella. She's now a beautiful woman, and Pip feels inadequate. Where he's maybe felt good being around Herbert, he's feeling very inadequate now. His feelings of worthlessness and that excessive ambition are coming back. His guilt is coming back. On page 215, it says here, truly it was impossible. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I fancied, as I looked at her, that I slipped hopelessly back into the coarse and common boy again. Oh, the sense of distance and disparity that came upon me, and the inaccessibility that came about her. So Estella confesses to Pip that she has no heart to love anyone. She says, oh, I have a heart to be stabbed in or shot in. Page 217. I have no doubt, said Estella, and of course if it ceased to beat, I should cease to be. But you know what I mean. I have no softness there, no sympathy, sentiment, nonsense. And so she admits this. And later, Miss Havisham tells Pip that she has raised Estella to be loved, but to use her lovers. She says on page 216, love her, love her, love her. How does she use you? Love her, love her, love her. If she favors you, love her. If she wounds you, love her. If she tears your heart to pieces, and as it gets older and stronger, it will tear deeper. Love her, love her, love her. Miss Havisham, her bitterness toward the man that rejected her and kind of jilted her, she is projecting that all onto Estella and wants Estella to get her revenge on men. Jaggers shows up, and Miss Sarah Pocket, one of the cousins, is there, and Jaggers enjoys rubbing Pip's good fortune in Sarah Pocket's face. They all assume, well, not Jaggers, but well, he might too. They all assume that Pip's wealth has come from Miss Havisham, and Jaggers enjoys the taunting. Pip decides not to go and see Joe. On page 223, he says, me, I thought those were high and great emotions, but I never thought there was anything low and small in my keeping away from Joe, because I knew she would be contemptuous of him. It was but a day gone, and Joe had brought the tears into my eyes. They had soon dried. God forgive me, soon dried. Remember that Pip is a man, an adult man, looking back and rating this, and he, really is examining and saying, wow, I thought that I had such high and great emotions that I was gonna be all that for Estella, and I didn't even think it was a big deal that I chose not to go see Joe. But you can tell as an adult, he's reversing the priority. In chapter 11, Pip tells Jaggers that Orluk is, this vile man and should not remain at Miss Havisham's. Pip is like, well, but if you confront him, and Jaggers is like, me? You think I'm going to be intimidated by him? Remember that, like, the judge is like shaking when Jaggers is in court. So Pip is going along. He encounters Trabb's boy. So if you remember Trabb's boy, so Mr. Trabb is the one who is like the tailor, and he makes clothes. And when Pip had first gotten money for his clothes, he went there, and the young boy was like kind of rude to Pip. You know, he's like basically sweeping him up and all this. And then in this chapter, he makes this total mockery of Pip. He puts on this like really bizarre performance and carrying on as though he's Pip, and a Pip who thinks he's superior to everyone else. And Pip is not impressed. And he actually writes a letter to Mr. Trabb saying that he'll not deal any longer with Mr. Trabb as long as he keeps that boy in his employ. So then Pip makes it back to London. He's all dejected. He's upset about, you know, Estella, and he's upset about the Trabb's boy, and he tells Herbert that he's in love with Estella. And at first, Herbert believes that Estella is part of Pip's Great Expectations, but then he reconsiders and he thinks that maybe she's really not a part of the deal, and he suggests that Pip detach himself from her. And Herbert's like, I mean, she's an awful girl anyway. Like, why would you even want to get involved? Like, I think you should just forget about her, but Pip can't do that. We also learn that Herbert is engaged secretly to a woman named Clara, and Clara's father is an invalid. We're going to get a scene with them, but also Herbert's mother is not in favor of this engagement. See you next time.